Hi YouTubers, this is an introduction for absolute beginners learning to play guitar. Now I want to share with you something that I wish I'd known years ago, but I've gradually learned over the years, and there's hardly anything about it on the internet or in books. So I'm going to share it with you now right from the start. And that is that when you're learning guitar or any instrument, you're actually going through a neurological process. Can you believe it? But you actually are. Now, when you are learning to ride a bicycle, for example, you have to concentrate on each push of each pedal, and you have to really concentrate to get it right. And then gradually over time, you get faster and faster, and you don't have to think about it anymore. Well, the same goes for guitar or any other musical instrument. And so what I'm telling you is that it's a neurological process whereby you have motor skills that operate from your fingertips, through your hands, through your arms, all the way up to your brain. And it's absolutely crucial that when you're learning to play guitar, that you learn it at a very slow pace, each operation that you're taking part in. So if you're playing a particular string or a particular note, you must learn it very slowly but correctly. Absolutely crucial, that is. I can't underline that too much. Because if you don't learn it correctly, you gradually cut a groove in your mind and in your brain of doing it incorrectly, and you will get faster and faster, and you will always carry that fault with you. But if you learn it correctly at a snail's pace, basically, right from the start, and then very slowly, when you've got it correct at the slow pace, you gradually pick up that pace and you get a little bit faster, until eventually you can play it at full speed. I mean, our instinct is always to play at full speed, like the artists, they're really good at playing their own songs, but it does take time to learn to play things properly, and you need to do it slowly at first. When you've got it correct at a slow pace, then you gradually get faster and faster, and then you're really learning. Well done. So your motor nerves then learn through repetition. And again, let's underline from a slow repetition to a fast repetition. And gradually you'll just get better and better and faster and faster. So if I give you an example, now I can carry on speaking to you whilst doing this, and I'm not thinking about whether I'm playing the 6th string, the 5th string or any other. I'm just concentrating on what I'm saying to you. And the reason being is that gradually, through your motor nerves and the skills that you learn to your brain, this becomes automatic. You don't have to look at your fingers, and you can just carry on speaking. So that kind of shows you or illustrates that the process that I'm telling you, and it's absolutely crucial that you understand that if you want to advance to be a good player. Now the other thing that I want to tell you about is, remember that people like Ed Sheeran, Paul McCartney, Lewis Capaldi, they're brilliant guitarists, but they had to start right at the beginning just as we have had to. So they will remember the days, I'm sure, when they were and they had to really work through. They got sore fingers, they got tired, they would have got frustrated. And so it's absolutely important that we understand that we have to go through that process as well. So remember, when you're finding it tough, Paul McCartney, Ed Sheeran, Lewis Capaldi and all those other guitarists have all been through the same pain. And the thing is, let's take the pain out of it. Don't spend too long playing guitar. Just play long enough, say 15, 20, 25 minutes or so at a time. That should be enough really, but the thing is you must do it regularly, and then you're really on your way. So then, let me show you your first 3 chords. Let's learn them properly and well. Come on. So first of all, we need to be in tune, and we're going to be using traditional tuning of E, A, D, G, B and E. And that ranges from the fatter string, which we call number 6, The next string, which is A, will be 5. The one after that will be D, which is 4, G, which is 3, B, which is 2, and the thinnest one of all we will refer to as number 1. Okay? So how do we get the guitar into tune? Well, you've got a few options really. If you're lucky, as I am on this particular guitar, I've got a tuning button here which guides me, or you can use an electronic type, a style like this, that you can fix onto the end of the guitar, or you've got this kind as well, which is quite useful. Okay, so once you're in tune, we can make a start. And you can, of course, use an app. You can download an app, which is also a good way of doing it. So the next thing to mention are the frets, which are these metallic strips down all the way up to here. And normally on a guitar there'd be 14 to this point, to the main body of the guitar, but you can sometimes get them to the 12th fret to the body. So we have 14 on this particular guitar, and the idea is that when we place our fingers down, the fingers come just behind the fret. So if we were going to place it on fret 2, it would be in that position there, or fret 5, it would be in that position there, and so on. It's not always that easy to get them neatly placed immediately behind the fret, but we do our best, and it does depend on your finger types as well. A quick word on guitar position. Rest the guitar over your right knee, and the thing is to make sure that you're not actually gripping the neck of the guitar and supporting it that way. You should be able to just support the guitar on the knee by also resting your arm over the top of the guitar, so that when you're playing your chords, you're free to do so without being hindered by gripping the guitar tightly and supporting it. You'll also find that with your right hand, you'll have to find what best suits you really. I tend to have my arm quite over the top because when I was first learning guitar, I was learning Spanish classical guitar, where you have the guitar raised up like so on the left knee, and I've still got a bit of that habit to do that. But you might find it a little bit more comfortable down like this, or you may choose to be up a little bit more as I tend to place my hand. But what you'll find is that the lower you go, when you're plucking the strings, you don't want to be stroking along the length of the string when you're playing. You want to be up a little bit, so you're plucking up on the strings. Okay, here we are. There we go, that's the G chord, D chord and C chord. Back to G. Now, you will often be shown as a beginner to play G using these fingers. Okay, now I would suggest that yes, that is a little bit easier, that you learn, as I did, by using these 3 fingers. So 2nd fret, 5th string, 3rd fret, 6th string, and the 1st string with the pinky. Okay, this one's not doing anything at the moment. There we go, there's a close-up of the fingers that I'm using. Okay, you can see those clearly there. Right, so that's the G string. Now let me just say, the reason why I say it's best to learn to play a G string like this is because you will find that if you play it the other way, you're now restricted with what you can do over here on this part. So if you use the way that I show you, which is a little bit trickier to start with, but the only thing is that if you learn this way, later on you're going, if you learn that way first, you're then going to have to relearn this way. And so what this does is it leaves this finger able to move around to do other things, and this finger can move as well. So you can get, for example, this sound. So yeah, so if you were playing doing finger picking style, it enables you to move other fingers around on these two frets, and you get that more interesting sound. So next we have the D chord, and you're just going to strum the thinnest 4 strings for the D chord. You don't touch the 6th one or the 5th one, just those 4. There we go. So it's the 2nd fret 3rd string, 2nd fret 1st string, and the 3rd fret there with the 2nd string. D chord. And last of all for now is the C chord, and with the C chord you don't play the fat string, it's just the 5 strings there. So here's a close-up of the C chord. 1st fret 2nd string, 2nd fret 4th string, 3rd fret 5th string. And remember, you're not playing the 6th string, the fat one. Just these lower 5. So then for now, on your first lesson, just remember what I've shown you to play the G, the D chord, from the 4th string down, and the C chord, remembering not to play that fat string. Okay, and if you just play around with those, it gives you an idea of how they sound. And I would suggest that you spend about 15 minutes at a time learning those chords, and whenever you spend time practicing, make sure that you have a quiet space if you possibly can. Have a glass of water, make sure you're hydrated so that you can operate when you're in a good mood and that you feel ready to play. Have a little bit of good time to yourself and learn those chords well, but don't press too hard when you press the chords down. Try to do it in such a way that you're using the minimum of force, but just enough to make them sound clearly. Okay, well done, and I'll add some more next time. I hope you found this useful, so please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. See you next time.